Welcome back to the. Uh, welcome back. First, in our next set of matches, we will be having DFC and Status Quo. Um, Teams for the Status Quo is Fishy Fanny, who I is that their. I'm not sure who the team captains
Yeah,
are,
Fishy
but
is their captain.
is their team captain? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes.
And then uh, Garage. You have Commissar, Jake, and Hentai Investigator, followed by DFC, who is Sva, Youngster, Shadeth, Defects, and Snow.
Pretty interesting teams we've got here. We've got DFC and Status Quo. I don't really know who's going to win tonight. Do you have any predictions, Zach?
I mean, it's going to be. I know that I'm hoping that the games are going to be really close. I mean, with Status Quo coming in with their 3-0, they're going up against DFC, who is last season's champions. So I'm interested to see if DFC has been putting in a little bit more scrim time and can really peel back and come back into the top bracket again.
I definitely agree with you there. DFC winning their alpha season, they definitely seem strong, but if they don't put in the practice, they aren't going to win it. Status Quo, possibly. They're not the newest team, but they're definitely up there. They're still trying to prove themselves in this tournament, and it seems that they've done so far.
No, absolutely. It'll be like I said, both of these teams have pretty much shown their skills so far, and it'll be interesting to see the plans that they put together.
Yeah, especially with all these new maps, we're seeing a lot more verticality and a lot more window play, especially on these kill house maps where we see a lot of balconies leading into windows. Especially earlier today, we saw a kill house map where one window in a office actually cut off the rotation of the entire site, and both teams used that to their advantage. We'll see if we get a layout similar to that, or if we'll just go with some of the older layouts that are still included in the map pool right now. I'm looking to see if both the teams are ready, and it does seem like so. We're just waiting to get into the match. But other than that, DFC, I would say, is looking strong here, especially if they did put in the practice, like you mentioned.
Yeah,
Other than
yeah.
that, though, in terms of a fan favorite or the underdog, I'm going to have to place my bet on Status Quo. They seem really strong right now, even if they are considered the underdogs in this match. And I would love to see this go to 3 maps.
Yeah, I hope this set of games will go the distance. I gotta say I'm throwing my hat in with DFC just because I want to see them, do the repeat. So we'll see if they end up being able to take this game or not. So looks like we're getting started here. So
We'll get right into the game and we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's DFC starting on the attacking side.
yep. I'm interested to see if we get some of these new kill house maps in this match, just because I want to see how some of these really high tier teams actually end up playing it.
Well, a lot of these high tier teams are really playing more off team coordination than the map layouts. It seems like they kind of have strategies built in, like when one person gets a frag, they'll fall back and tell somebody else to entry, or they'll just have one dedicated player who peeks it, you know? But we
Yeah,
will see a C store layout. What do you think of
yeah,
this?
yeah. We're on Nimble Flintlock here. Just taking a quick look at the map, you have your double green door entry that like basically is split in two. So it's a little bit, there's some really tight quarters to be able to enter it. So it is a little bit of a dangerous push. But yeah, I feel like, I think we play. There's a couple of really strong plays here. You can either kind of like eco charge and go kind of arcade straight into Teller, or you can do just a straight up wall breach. Is so strong. Gets you immediate power entry, gets you immediate storefront hold. Um, but it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
It does look like they are going to go for that arcade push that you just mentioned, though,
Hmm.
not wanting to use any explosives. I think that's smart from them, but not using explosives in first round kind of opens yourself up to easy frags for the defending team, I feel.
Yeah, it looks like the defenders are kind of calling this play though perfectly. We'll see if they're able to not only deploy their support gear properly, but if they take any additional, mollies and stuff are, a huge slowdown tool for the attackers, or being able to split them.
Two players and tellers that seem, excuse me, storefront. Um, Not sure how that's going to go for them. We are immediately going to see a push up the default play. Just as we've mentioned, they're going to be playing economy. Shed is actually going to be opened as a bait that might come back to bite them in the future because of that storage peak. We are going to see the auto shotty on Investigator early, which is something a lot of teams don't do. And Defects is already going in. He's got 2 flashes, he's got the AP. And it seems like they're kind of stuck at this barbed wire. They didn't bring a nade, they really only brought flashes in that one smoke. So they're kind of stuck in a standoff here. Garage actually has the Tub 12 shotgun here, and Youngster's trying to get damage off. No damage actually coming through, and Defects and Spa are already pushing in for this power play, it seems. Investigator does have the auto shotty there, and he's already got one, but Youngsters does have a trade across the map. Spa taking his own shotgun to Investigator's face. That's going to be auto shotty all the way to attackers. That's the risk coming out there, and Fishy's already down because Spa's picked up that auto. It's given them the entire round already. It seems like Comms is just stuck there. He does have a bullet hole and Tellers, keep in mind, but Jake's really going to have to pick it up here. He's already got Shatta. And Youngster's kind of just separated from the team. He's holding off that flank from Comms, and Comms is already on site, only getting onto Snow, and Spa's just going to stick the defuse. He's already going in. Jake has to get the peek, but Spa crouching behind the bomb with an auto shotty. There's not much you can do against that.
With that 4K, absolutely savaged that the defending team once they dropped that auto shotgun and made it easy work.
That's one of the reasons that a lot of defenders and a lot of teams aren't really bringing those power weapons in the first rounds, because if you give that up early, a lot of that is already lost. Sometimes you can basically, if you give up a mop, say on factory first round, if you get kill house the next round, the team can use that against you, and it can just snowball into more and more rounds. But a strong start from DFC, it seems like. They were very focused on the objective there and got their trades properly.
Yeah, it didn't even seem that, they split their group, but they decided that they didn't even want power. They just pushed through, right? So I think once they saw that they ended up picking up the auto shotgun, which it looks like they only had taken one drum for, so it was kind of now expended and lost. But they just kind of said, "Hang it, we don't need to do the power play or anything like that. We'll just keep pushing into storefront."
Yeah, this is one of the factory maps we've actually seen a lot in League. Snow.
Oh
We see a
yeah, here
lot
we're
of
on Snow
TNT
Snow.
go storage, and we'll see what these teams try to figure out.
Oh, I love this. The layout on this map is quite strong, right? Like I feel it's like a pretty well balanced map.
Definitely. We do see a lot of teams Molotov that staircase on docks, though,
Hmm.
and sometimes some teams will just straight up go down the conveyor belt here in the middle lane to bomb site, and that completely throws teams off guard. But the strategy may be a bit different here. It does seem like DFC is aware of the default barbed wire. I'm not sure how the defending team is planning to hold this. Do you have any comments on that, Zach? Because a lot of these barbed wire placements seem interesting.
Yeah, I think it looks like they're trying to just shove storage, right? They're figuring that the attackers won't have they're not going to use any explosives. I'm not so sure that that's probably the best way. I would really think that power is so simple to get here that it's important for you to guard it, but I think they're just going to use the Molotov to try to delay while they just try to hold green door. But it looks like Taka's going in.
The breach is already open here, and we're going to see a Molotov come out. That's actually going to put some damage onto Defects, but Youngster's already got a kill, and it's going to be Snow to follow that up with 2 picks already. Man advantage clearly handed over to DFC here, and it's just 3 players now. For for Status Quo, and the push is now just coming in after they've gotten these picks. That Molotov is taking a long time to fade away, and Spa's going to go in here. Spa actually going to throw in a nade early, and Power's already gone. That wins him the fight with comms, and it's just down to Jake already in a 1v5. He does have an Igmar giving him one on Snow, but can he get the rest? No, it's going to be Youngster with the Saber cleaning up the round. A clean sweep from DFC, actually. Only giving up one kill to that conveyor belt player, who is Jake.
Yeah, definitely. They picked them apart slowly, right? I feel like some of the defenders there took some poor, hold locations. There was definitely, like, they did take a grenade, which I did not see them, and they figured there was going to be a barbed wire, and the grenade got a kill. So Spa also did recover the mop, so that's going to be dangerous for the next set of rounds as well.
To agree there, that mop is definitely strong, especially if the attackers pick it up. That's going to be horrible for the defending side. I mean, when you can one-shot your opponent, oof, and you just need to know where they are. You don't even have to just dedicate. If you just quickly peek, take your shot, and you know they're there, you're basically given a kill for free. That's why those power weapons are so detrimental to give up in the beginnings, because the defenders, they use those power weapons to hold on to these rounds, since they're meant to be their last hope or a backup plan. But when you give them to attackers, that's just more firepower that throws the balance out.
Yeah. Well, it builds momentum, right, for the attackers even more so, which is it's a dangerous gamble to do, right?
Doesn't seem like the defenders are looking for anything special. I'm just seeing Grubers and shotguns coming out. I do
Yeah.
see a Molotov, though. They could essentially use that to...
They've got
walk
barbed
away.
wire for days, which, I mean, this is the last round for Status Quo. There should be literally not 1 ounce of utility left on that wall, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's
they're
no
going to
need
pick it
to
up.
have to splurge or save here, because there's at least I'm seeing a load of barbed wire, which still hasn't been
Yeah.
picked up yet.
Both
So
barbed wires just got picked up, and it
yeah,
seems like nobody's opting to pick up a F1 Lagros or even a secondary shotgun. Seems
I
like
do
they're all
I
sticking
do
with.
see a Legros at least, but yeah, most of it's Grubers and short range.
Interesting layout, especially with this hallway here. That causes for some good rotations, but that could also really factor into some really good wall bangs.
Yeah.
It does look like DFC is immediately going to be going out. They aren't bothering for the walking. They want to end the half fast, because it seems Status Quo knows that they're going to be going courtyard essentially, except for maybe some markers on training. They really don't have another way to go. There is a shotgun sound onto reception, and that's going to give Jake a sound cue. He's going to rotate off to watch another door breach, but he's just going to be chilling in a corner for now. He's just waiting. He's happy. He's just waiting, and there's going to be a mob shot actually from Youngster. Not connecting though with Gurag. And Chade is already going in. There's the flash. The Molotov is there though. Fishy could be going for wall bangs here. No damage taken off either team yet, and it's just going to be a skirmish. There's a little chunk of damage on the Chade. And it looks like there's going to be a return to Fishy. The nade actually going to be wasted on that barbed wire. Not necessarily wasted, but no damage done with it. And there's another molly to stall that office push. They've essentially
Waiting
pushed
with a
them into
door
the middle of
charge
the
on
map.
this green door.
Yeah, they've essentially just waited and forced them into the middle of the map, and Garage couldn't take advantage of that. It seems like now there's just going to be 3 stuck in training, and Spa is waiting there, ready for it. He's got the clacker, but it seems they want to push straight into sight. But there's shotguns there. The flash is going to help him entry that. Investigator's already down, and Jake's alone on site. A trade is there from the boss with the Lagros, but he can't do much with that range. It's not built for that, and Youngster's already sitting on bomb with 4 players left. Fishy's going to be the last one alive. What can the captain do? He's going for the wall bang, but you can't do much in that situation. It looks like he is going to be lagging out just a little bit, but not enough to push through. He just gets stuck in training, and just some cleanup kills for his KD, for his honor at this point. Trying to stay alive, but Youngster's going to push him and clean him up. A little bit of a disappointing start for Status Quo, to say the least, but the first round swap, all 3 rounds going to the side of DFC.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lack of use of utility through some of these from Status Quo, which is vital to be able to like pinch the attackers to slow them down. I know that they've been using it. It just I feel like it's being deployed in kind of like wasted spaces, or like the DFC used a door charge to clear the bar. They had a free entry, multiple free entries through greens. They took each one of them. It allowed them to just door instead of just typically using a door breach to breach a red door. They used it to clear barbed wire or to be able to surprise somebody if one of the defenders would have rotated there. Sva would have gotten them with the charge, right? So yeah, there's just I feel like right now DFC is heavily outthinking status quo currently.
StatusQuo definitely has the potential to win those gunfights, but they just really aren't putting the effort in. Like, not necessarily just the effort, but they just aren't confident in themselves, it seems. Like, yes, they have the strategies, but it just seems like they aren't dedicating completely to them. If they just dedicate one or two more players into that one push spot, or they have one player go and watch the flank, they could easily tear apart what DFC is doing. But now that DFC is on the defense, Status Quo has no idea what they're up to.
Yeah, we'll see if DFC has the same kind of communication, prep, and rotation that we'll be able to put them up against status quo's attack. I mean, knowing these guys and how they've played from the past, it's they're gonna play this pretty well. They're really good at rotations. They're really slow and patient. DFC is even though they're 2-1 right now. I mean, like it's that one loss. I think they took probably to that to heart like they did last season, and though we'll see what if status quo can dig out of this hole.
It looks like Status Quo is actually opting for a slow walk here. It seems like they don't want to let DFC know what they're doing, especially with such a default planet, or default plan, it seems like. Fishy is going to place that wall charge, and we might see a stall before the breach. Maybe some sort of noise. No, not at all. They're just going to go straight in. This is the dedication that they needed. Youngster does have some damage off, but it seems they're already in the site. It's already a 4-on-3 in sight, and Investigator's going to be taking on defects at close range, but Fishy's there to trade. That's helpful for them. Garage kind of getting trapped now, but Fishy's coming in on the flank. Snow actually going to get the kill, but Comms has a TK onto Garage. That is not helpful, but Jake does have the refrag, and it's just going to be down to a 2v2 already. Jake with a 2k. Comms getting caught in that barbed wire. Youngster aware of it, and they've essentially given up bomb control, but Sade could be on the rotate here. Jake aware of it, but not sure. He's gotten shot in the back. He may take the fight, but Youngster's trying to back him up here. Sade's alone in Arcade, and there's only a minute left on the clock. They have to put more pressure on this bomb, and it's going to start coming in now. Youngster's aware of this. He's going in for the push, and Jake's aware. He's gotten one. Sade has to push out, and it's just down to a one-on-one on Jake. Sade could win this one out, but the barbed wire is there to stall him out, and it's gonna be Sade with a 2k to cancels Jake's 4k. Not happening for Jake today. A little bit disappointing, but they definitely could have had that round if that barbed wire didn't force them on the left side.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was kind of talking about in a previous round, is having that barbed wire kind of funneled them around into one location, which kind of gave the defenders a good hold. It sucks that team kill ended up going down. I think Garage didn't realize that there were two defenders in the arcade on that right side next to him, and so when he started pushing the wire, his teammate was trying to fire at the guys in the arcade while he was trying to crossfire back, to the other side of the map, across the bomb past tellers, right? So
Exactly.
he's firing far to the left. His teammates firing to the guys to the immediate right, and ends up getting caught in the crossfire.
It's something you never want to see in a level like this. That just completely gives up your moral, especially in a
Mm-hmm.
match like this where you need that round. Essentially, they should have won that round. That must be really frustrating for them, but they still have the possibility to pull it back, even though it is match point. If we go to a second, or excuse me, we are going to a second, but if we do end up going to a third map, Status Quo always has the chance here to back it up. They can always
Oh, sure.
learn from what DFC is doing and just adapt to it.
I really would. I've yet to see this really happen yet, but I'd love to see somebody do a wall charge in through here. I think that's. I have yet to see that play on this map. I know it's a big risk, like that's a big utility usage, but I feel like putting in a hole here, basically splitting this map into, there's only two ways in which the defenders can really come at you from, is really, really strong.
That actually is a really strong play. I haven't seen that done in Due Process League yet, but I have been looking over some scrimmage VODs, and teams like Flatline and Fluff have definitely taken that sort of a approach to this bomb site, especially if it's one in the later rounds where they didn't use a wall charge on C-Store and just went for power.
Yeah, for sure.
The round finally starting out now. The planning phase is done, and it looks like more slow walking coming out from Status Quo. They want to take their time with this one. They don't want to let DFC know. But with a plan as basic as this, they might have already been read, but I wouldn't mark your page too
Yeah,
quickly with this one.
there's two people watching these docks. There's youngsters gonna rotate and get ready to watch from these stairs. I really hope that they send somebody sprinting out through storage and kick this in to at least make them start thinking that somebody's gonna come up from behind.
Well, even if they don't have a player there, they're just going to have to brute force their way through. They do have smokes and frags, so that frag can clean up where youngster is if necessary, or even go onto the conveyor belt. The breach is going to go ahead and start off, but that Molotov isn't going to be enough, actually. They can just go straight through if they're weary. It is going to be a door charge, not a wall charge into it. And it looks like youngster's already fallen off that position. 3 players now on conveyor. It looks like Comms is going to storage. And youngster, he has the first pick. It's going to be a mob kill on the garage. That headshot, that one shot is horrible for them. And it looks like investigators already pushing up. They don't expect it, but Defects is there with the flick. The window peek is going to happen, but nothing's there. Fishy actually going to get one, and Snow is ready for the trade, but it doesn't seem like it's coming in yet. That Molotov is going to be delaying Spa and Defects, as well as Youngster, from pushing into offices. And that's going to give Fishy a chance to reposition himself, possibly get a kill on Defects. A fight is going to come out here on conveyor belt. Comms versus Snow, and Comms is going to win out finally. The round is starting to lean towards the favor of Status Quo, possibly. If he gets this kill on Spa, which he does, he's essentially flipped the round. Youngster's left with a mop. Even though both players are one shot with that mop, 1 or 2 bullets from a DMR like the Black Tar will win, but time is starting to run out. There's only 25 seconds, and they've got to push this. Youngster's there. He's gotten the kill. Comms is going to jump out the window, and they definitely have enough time to get this one, possibly picking up the power weapon here, and that is a round that Status Quo needed if they wanted to
Fishy with the 3, Calm with the 2, was able to put it all together.
They definitely put in a lot more effort there, even though they had a basic plan that DFC read really easily. Yep. Their gunfights were much more confident in their gunfights, and that led to them winning those rounds.
Yeah, their firing arcs were a lot cleaner. It was, I thought it was gonna turn for the defenders real hard when Garage got immediately sniped from Youngster right off the initial engagement. I thought it was all kind of starting to fall apart, but I think with Commissar kind of watching that back rotation, nobody could really come at them from the other side, watching from that window. So it allowed them to be able to really hold that area.
Yeah, I'd assume Status Quo felt the same way. As soon as that early pick is given up, sometimes you just need to push through it, and that's exactly what they did, and it gave them the round. Having that confidence helped them win, and we'll see if DFC is aware of that. They could be taking notes that Status Quo is starting to get a little bit more aggressive. They're on their toes now.
I think they're just finally starting. I mean, it took them a couple of rounds, so maybe they're finally starting to settle in to the game. Here we are on Sandwich King, back on this kill house.
There is an auto shotty in play on Spa. That's gonna be something nice to look out for.
Oh, there's so many wall bangs on this map. That gun is so strong here.
I'm not seeing anything too different from what we saw before, except for the red door on training might get breached out, but it looks like that's been taken out of play. There might be a split going on here. From
looks
we
like
haven't
it.
seen something like that yet.
Oh, they might do a. It might be a run out of van, get their attention, and then start walking in towards 3 while the other 2 continue to move towards reception.
That would definitely be an interesting play on their part. But the setup phase has started, and we're gonna see the barbed wires that were marked, except it doesn't look like Office is getting barbed actually. And they marked it, but it didn't happen, I guess. We are gonna see Comms leading the charge here, making that noise. And it looks like Defects might be aware of this. Comms does have a nade though, so he could easily clear out Youngster or Defects if he pushes in. That's gonna be a really smart smoke from Fishy. That what that does is it lands on the roof, so the bottom of the smoke, you can see the feet through the bottom of the smoke. The breach is gonna come in now. No nade actually yet from Comms, and Youngster's gonna be rotating up with a shotgun, actually taking out Gurudge. Jake's gotta get Jake's gotta get this flank. But Investigator's there to help him out. Even though Defects already has a frag onto him, Jake is going to try to refrag, but Youngster's already shut down this push single-handedly. Shade's trying to back him up, but the frag is there. And it's just down to Fishy. It's down to the captain. He's taking out the auto shotty. That's a big change of pace. If they don't go for that auto shotty, this could actually be a round for Fishy. The wallbang potential on that Black Tar is definitely strong. And with the lower players being on site, Snow is left alone here in a one-on-one. Fishy is going to be a little bit low on half health, and that's going to be the engagement finish. Snow taking him out with that knack at longer ranges.
Yeah, Fishy was already so hurt from the previous engagement that it would have been really hard for him to pull that back around. Man, that corner was just a death trap between frickin' Youngster and Defects just holding that corner. Every person was just getting pump shottied or KR'd and just dropped them all right in that little chokehold.
Yeah, that was definitely a disappointing end to the map. I would have really loved to see a bit more of a closer match, but there is always the opportunity for that in the second game. Even though that first set was lost for Status Quo, I feel from the earlier rounds, they have the confidence now. They know they can win rounds against DFC, and we might see a comeback here. We might see DFC fold back on themselves and possibly Status Quo taking the second game.
Yeah, I think Status Quo is going to have to dig pretty deep here. I think they're going to have to kind of think mentally about how DFC is playing these rounds and see if they can to make some stronger plans. You know, the 5-man stack on one explosive door into a really tight chokehold is you know, a defender dream. You know, to be able to just either delay, stall, you know, get good shots on people, right? To stick them, like do that chip damage.
Yeah.
So
You could tell they stalled there because there was the rotate in with that tub 12, and that backing off and letting the tub 12 push up, that was horrible. That was not horrible, but that was like a nasty play. They
yeah.
knew what they were doing there when they funneled those players. Maybe if the split came in a bit sooner, because we did see Jake help open up reception, but he got fragged out afterwards. So I don't know if that risk was necessarily worth it. They could have shot. Obviously, Jake shotgunned open the door for reception for the player to peek in, but there wasn't much happening after that. That reception player just couldn't push in. Even though there wasn't barb there were just too many players stacked there and too many angles to hold.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it was such tight quarters, right? So you couldn't, even if you were standing behind your teammate, once he gets pump shotted, then you're the next one in line. You got a teammate behind you, right? So it's like you're just taking all this chip damage on top of it, or any collateral is hitting you too. It made it really hard for them to push in on some of those corners.
It looks like our players are resetting now, so that is good for them. We will be getting into the second game here soon enough. We are just waiting for the players to start in. Any other footnotes for this past game before we wait for the teams to be ready?
I mean, I feel like Yunk, Sva, and Shadeth are all playing pretty darn well. Even Snow and Defects are you know chipping in on these plays, and it's you know it's really showing through that DFC has really been putting in the time to put for this match.
Definitely came in there in the last round with that shotgun, like I mentioned. I feel
Mhm.
like DFC, even though they don't all have the same level of skill, their coordination is definitely there. They've
Yeah.
definitely practiced, and it seems your prediction would be right so far.
Yeah, they have the thing with DFC is they have a very patient play style. More so than I've seen with a lot of teams. I took a lot of notes from them for my play. Um, they have really, really good rotations. You don't get to hear their comms, but their callouts are normally really solid. They know when they need to be holding angles or not. When to push or hold, right? And yeah, they're quite adept at that. They've obviously been most of them have been playing as a team for quite some time. I know the Defects is kind of I don't know if it was a player name change or if he's a new player for their team, but yeah, he's new, but the rest of them, Snow, Shadith, Young, Sva, they've been playing together for quite some for
Been
quite some
around
time. So
since the alpha season,
yeah,
so you can tell they definitely have the coordination between them. And even with the new
yep,
player on the team, even if Defects is a new player, they've adapted really well. They've incorporated his playstyle in. I mean, Defects definitely has the patience of the team that you mentioned, and it seems with that they've already filled their spot. They've gotten the five that they need, and from here they just need to practice, and they could possibly take the championship this season.
yeah. Go for the second set of the second win of the second championship. Yeah, it'd be really
Yes.
entertaining to see. I really hope that they continue doing well through the tournament. They were kind of the underdog last season, so it's cool to see that their skills are still exceedingly sharp.
And it looks like both teams are all readied up in the game, so we'll be getting in here in just a second. Any predictions for the second game here?
I mean, I always feel it's kind of down to the map for how these teams are playing, right? We'll see. I mean, I still think DFC is probably going to take it, but I'm interested to see if Status Quo can regroup after the that series of games, mentally, and then B, if they're able to um, deploy some better strategies, right?
Yeah.
So
Because even though they had some very basic default strategies, the dedication that they put into those plays, they were on top of it. When they made that plan, they stuck to it, and that gave them the round. And I feel like if they keep doing something similar to that, except with something a little bit more complicated, we might see some more rounds coming out from Status Quo. And we did
yeah,
kind of see that with the last round, but it just doesn't seems like it seems like in that kill house round, they just kind of lost their confidence in that push.
yeah.
And that caused them to kind of snowball there. If they kept that confidence that they had from the factory round and they stuck to the push, I feel
Mhm.
like they could have pulled through.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that is going to be difficult is now you find yourself a game down. It's a new set of rounds, which is good, but now the good news is you get to go in with a new set of maps. So we'll see if they end up being able to again deploy some better strategies, so be able to push a little bit stronger, right? Make sure that they're using all of their utility, and yeah, we'll see if they can we can pull out this set of games.
Interesting. It's always nice to see a third set come out, but we'll see if Status Quo can push it there. I am excited for this round start.
Yeah, so here we are, an enduring night factory map here. Power normally really strong on factories and C stores, so we'll see if they end up. Looks like the attackers are going to try to go for that office play.
Smart play, I would say to say the least. We have seen some very interesting lines of sight. We have seen a player in this truck here. We actually saw Mackie earlier today sitting in the truck holding a line of sight all the way onto that red office door. But that didn't really work out for him because another player had from red started wall banging that position and
Oh,
perfectly
sure.
predicted that. But that angle, if more teams realize it, could definitely help them in their defense.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna do like a two-man office, one-man dock, which can help with office if they need it, and then two watching the green.
Yeah, we may see some nades come through the ceiling here because Spa does have 2 smokes on him. He's gonna have to have a player to back him up. Spa is ready with the first smoke. He's already popped it. And we're just going to see a little bit of a stalemate on this door until the breach. The smoke is there. It's covered up half of office, and the molly's there to block him, but not enough. Garage getting into a fight with defects. Damage going off on 2 players on DFC, actually, giving Status Quo the early advantage on health. And that Molotov's kind of just blocked them. I wonder if they can realize they can just run past to that dock door. And that's what's going to start happening now. Doc has been smoked, and Garage is going to take that opportunity to start pushing up while all of these players go for power. Calms with that long range shotgun. That was hard for them. Fishy's actually playing really smart here. He's playing off comms and holding into that wallbang position, but it's not going to help too much because Snow takes him out. Swa pushing down into the dock position and taking out flanking Garage. Jake has now come in to back up comms, and it looks like Hentai Investigator's actually gotten a pick from across the map. Sade is pushing onto the bomb now, and we're going to see Jake try to back him up. And it's down to just Sade, Snow being taken out by comms. He's going to be hiding in this toxic position, waiting for a player to peek him, it seems. Jake is going to peek out, and damage is going to go off, giving Jake the engagement. And the first
Good
round actually
hold.
going to Status Quo.
They needed that. They needed that really badly to start this game off well.
Yeah, that
I
wallbang
think.
position was actually really powerful for them.
Yeah, I think the fact that Com was holding this really tight corner with the shotgun and the barbed wire, and they had no way to clear it, really threw a wrench into what the attackers wanted to do. It funneled them into that really tight little server roomy kind of area, and they were able to do some good wall paying damage. They were able to do some pick damage, but yeah,
Definitely
it
pushed
was
them
really well
off.
defended.
Because with that push, not bringing a nade, it gives you 2 nades for later rounds, yes, but giving up an early round like that, the confidence is now there for Status Quo. They know how to play now against DFC because they just needed to warm up to it. I don't think Status Quo has actually played DFC in any scrims that I've looked at, so we'll see if that's the case though, because Status Quo is starting to make a comeback. It seems like. Maybe we will see a map 3, or maybe DFC will shut down this comeback.
Finally, we get to see one of these new Kill House 2-floor club maps called Clean Spectre. I'm kind of excited to see again. I haven't gotten to see any of the teams really play on these yet. So
One of the really strong positions to take here is if what I've seen teams do is if they breach the south door, they can just smoke their cross to dance floor. And dance floor, due to these railings, has some pretty level head glitches where players can just contest office from across the map, and it makes it hard for both sides to take fights there, and it kind of just stalls it out. But maybe we'll see a lobby push. Maybe we'll see a security push because it does look like TFC wants to go for these windows, but I'm not sure how.
yeah, it looks like they're gonna go through just a straight lobby push, try to get a smoke on stage, and just get control of this main room. Um, attackers are better at longer engagements than defenders are.
That's going to be the case. Sva's actually already taking an engagement, and Fishy's there with the auto sniper, the Igmar, and Com's also picking up a black tar. He does have that to his advantage, and that's going to give him the first kill on Sva while they're rotating into stage. Through that double door, he's cut off the rotate and split DFC in half. Already taken damage on both parts of DFC. They're trying to push through this barbed wire, but Coms is just there to hold both angles. He's doing this single-handedly. And with that much damage already onto DFC, the push is in. Security's getting flashed, but no players there, just a barbed wire to stall them out. And this is just giving Status Quo more time to relax, more time to feel comfortable in their skin. There is going to be a door bang though, and Jake's aware of it. A peek is going to come out. Garage just have the last one onto lobby, and Jake's actually going to be taken out. An office push is coming in, but the Molotov has separated the team. Defects and Shade being separated. A kill is going to come from Investigator onto Defects, and Snow and Shade are going to be the last 2 left. Investigator is going to be playing close on this Molotov, but it seems Shadow's aware of that. Snow is trying to get some interesting plays, but Garage is watching that with the mop. An engagement's going to happen in office, and Shadow's taking him out. He could get the mop player. It's going to happen, and Snow, he's pushed in. They've taken a 2v4. Shada and Snow, not even on full health, just taking those positions away, taking those power positions away from
Yeah,
Status
what
Quo.
yeah, absolutely. I think Snow ended up trading out his AP for the Black Tar and was able to get a little bit more range. Although he was able to get Fishy right in the back, that was only because Shadath was able to flank Jake
Yeah,
after the Molly went out.
as soon as Shada killed Investigator, Garage
Yep.
had no idea. He was dedicated to that peak from Snow, and that got him killed. Meaning Fishy, he had to watch two angles at once, and from there he just couldn't decide. And Snow went straight into the peak and got a free kill.
Yeah, well, what ended up yeah, the all the attention got turned to Shadath as soon as he dropped Hentai Investigator, as you had said. I misspoke earlier, but yeah, as soon as he had dropped him, he must have called out, "Hey, there's still one up here." Both of them turned. That allowed uh Snow to get in and put some rounds in and drop Fishy, which allowed them to be able to take the room at that point because there was only Garage left.
Yeah, we did see the round kind of collapse there for Status Quo. It seems
Yeah.
like DFC just realized the positions they were playing and took advantage of the pushes there. We are back to or excuse me, we are on the new one of the newer C-store layouts.
Yep.
This is
On to
going to be
Caged Odysseus. This one looks really interesting. This storefront looks exceedingly open. While you have your back covered for bombs so you can't get killed from behind when defusing, and you get a nice look at like what's going on from Freezer, right? But like it's still out in the dead center of the room, which is very dangerous for a defuse.
yeah, but there is always the potential for smoke play here.
That's
If you
true.
have
That's true.
one smoke, you can just hide halfway behind the bomb and defuse from that range.
Well, this is interesting that Teller just has a free entry behind it. So
Ooh.
there is no need for like a lot of these. It actually has like a free entrance and a doorway entry for this teller. So it is very easy to get to this teller.
Yeah, recently we've been seeing freezer layouts that either attach to storefront or the teller's office, and we've also been seeing a lot of separated um, teller's offices. There's really two main layouts. We either see it implemented kind of just into the map as its own individual like rotate room,
Sure.
or we're seeing it as kind of just an island in the middle of storefront that it's really hard to dedicate a player to it
Yeah.
because it's too much dedication to put one there, especially with the bullet hole in it. We are immediately going to see the breach, and the Molotov is quick to cancel it out,
Yeah.
and the stall is there. That's giving them time to rotate out, and Fishy might be aware of this rotate that Sva is making. If Sva makes any sort of more noise, there's the shotgun, and Fishy's going to be aware of it. He's going to be rotating off, but the push is coming in. Flashes are there. Two players and tellers. There's no shotguns here. It's just going to be close range. It's going to be a knack and defects with an AP. This could be close. Snow taking the engagement for him after the doors open, and Garage is going to be rotating in with that Lagros to help him out. No picks yet, just damage onto the side of Status Quo on Jake. The first pick is there with Investigator with the auto shotty. He's already falling back. He might get another with shotty here. He's gotten it, but the trade is there for Snow, giving up that auto shotty. Snow's actually got two, completely trading it out. But Combs is pushed out. He's taken the opportunity, and Youngster's already dead. It's just down to Snow and Sva. Sva's alone on the site, and Fishy could easily take him out here. Power getting hit, and Sva's got one with that shotgun. Fishy's got to go in close now, even though Sva has a shotgun. The peak is there. He might get it out over those bakery shelves, and he's got one. Snow aware of it, though. He's going to be rotating in with this AP, and Fishy's just running off. He knows that he can tap the bomb. That flare is on the bomb, and Snow, he's going to either have to drop a smoke or go for the fight here with 40 seconds left. They're both on basically one shot here. Snow might get that bait off the bomb. He's going to wait for a stick. Fishy is aware of it, though. Snow is going to start dedicating to that stick now, and he's aware of it. The peak is there, and he's got it. Snow giving a second round to DFC.
Ooh. That got a little intense right there at the end when it only takes a bullet to drop either one of the players. Goodness. I think Sva had a masterful flank there. I don't know if it was a combination of between all the noise that was happening out over by office, but he was able to move through storage, open arcade, walk through bathroom, dance around in there, walk into storefront, and get up behind all of the defenders and literally just put a bunch of shots down on them from behind. Um,
Yeah, those shots just especially the auto shot he push out. I'm surprised Snow actually got the refrags there. That was really helpful to give DFC the round control that they needed back.
Yeah, he ended up shooting through the auto shotgun into the guy that was standing on the back side of the other side of the freezer glass, and was able to pick out a double right off of that initial trade from Sva, where he went down, which was a nice pickup for a 2-for-1.
It's good to see some interesting plays come out from players like this. We are back on a factory though, so that double bridge layout, that enduring night layout.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll go for the same sort of push here in the office take, or
I
will
think Docs is a bad idea if they decide on doing that. This map is so open and there's no cover there whatsoever that I feel like, I mean, you could have a guy standing down here on the bridge from this door, right from the office point. You could have a guy standing right down here, right, watching. I mean, this dock is so dangerous. I think they're going to do an office play. I think they're going to go back to the office play. I think they're going to bring a grenade. And
I've seen a
then,
lot of people just disregard toxic completely, but
yeah.
that's on both sides actually, defenders and attackers. We might see a team try to push in here and just smoke bomb possibly. That could be an interesting take. But we'll see the similar layout. The barbed is going to be an office with a shotgun.
Yep, it looks like they're going to go for power again. I do feel like there's some chances for, like, again, good picks from the window into the front, but you just have to be confident with where you're sniping, right?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. And it looks like Status Quo is still trying to figure out their arsenal, it seems. Comms and Garage just
Well, I
taking
think
their
they're
time.
going with the double. No, okay, never mind.
They
Yeah,
are
they've
going
got,
with the double
yeah.
breach, it seems like. They
Yeah, I
do
think they
have
ran
some
out
time.
and put the one up. Yeah.
There is going to be a door charge coming into office now, but the split pressure is going to be there. Garage might be watching a flank while Comms comes up with that clacker. All that noise up in office is going to let them know that they're there, and it looks like they have people there ready to rotate, it seems. The breach has happened, the Molotov is out, and it's going to be perfect. It's going to stall out that push. Having a Molotov on a single door like that, you're either forced to go through and take that damage, which can give you the disadvantage, but also surprise, or you just gotta wait it out like Status Quo is doing right now. There's actually a really smart smoke coming out from Fishy. He's cut off that rotate from Shade and Snow. They're gonna have to push through that. They've got him thinking that there's gonna be a player storage, but they've already given up offense control because of it. Comms knows that Defects is going to be playing a similar position, and they've already pushed into dock. Damage is going to be going off for both teams, but it looks like Status Quo is going to be the ones that are tagged up right now. Investigator and Fishy pushing onto that Shaddy, and there's going to be a trade. It is Sva on a flank, though. Investigator might get caught off guard here, and it does look like it's Sva getting a headshot and then a body shot to clean him up. Comms is going to start taking a fight, and it does look like the bomb's ticking. Only 23 seconds left. They've got to put pressure on it. Jake's got to go in, and even with Spa there, it's going to be difficult. He's gotten Spa. They've Molotov the bomb, but it's not enough. If Jake just sticks the bomb here, he could win the round. There's not enough. The high ground isn't going to stick it. Going up. 70, 80, 90. Kills are coming in from Garage, and they've already gotten the defuse.
Got it.
A comeback from a round
They had
that
to
could have been
run through their
lost.
own molly. Brutal.
That round could have been lost for Status Quo, but the
Yeah.
Molotov won them the round. They thought they
Yeah.
could get the Molotov would wrap around the bomb, but no, it
Yep.
just goes in a square around it.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to stop it, and they realized that. That was an oh crap moment, And with the bomb already at 70%, that's just horrible. That's a horrible situation to be in.
Yeah, they they recognized the fact that they didn't have to all push office, that they could rotate out. I thought there was a few mistakes where they just started running out in the dead open, but they ended up picking up Shadith. They ended up collapsing in um, on Sva, and at that point, like it had kind of the defenders were on one half of the map and the attackers were on the other half of the map, and there wasn't really the defenders were kind of cut off at that point.
We did see a nade used earlier in the round, so there's only going to be one nade left for Status Quo. We'll see if they use that this round. Um, Also, on the side of DFC, it doesn't seem like there's too many interesting picks coming out for guns. We are going to see a Legros, we are going to see a Tub 12 and a Gruber, but nothing much more than that. We're going to see shotguns and maybe one or two long range just to hold the office high ground.
Yeah, they did lose the mop. I feel like that's a really strong gun for this map. But we'll see what kind of defense that DFC can mount here. Status Quo, they're pulling it back close again.
Yeah, they definitely have the potential to bring it to a map 3 here, and that's something I would love to see. We always want to see these teams pushing it to the edge. We always want to see it, their desperate measures, when it's 4-4 or even like 4-3. The teams start to get a little bit finicky with their strategies, and they start to do risky things that could reward them, but also really hurt them. Almost getting zapped by the UAV there. Spa's position is going to be given out just a little bit. Fishy is already out of the truck, and he's going to be walking towards the security position. Not too big of a plan. Spa's waiting there. Investigator's aware of this. He's crouch peeking it. Two players going to tag up Spa, and that's immediately going to give Status Quo advantage. With a player that low already, one or two bullets can take him out. It's going to be 20 health on Spa. We are going to see a rotate map come around the side, though. And it looks like Breach might be coming out onto this dance floor push, something I mentioned in the earlier half of this game. The door charge is going to go down. The Clacker is going to be coming in a little bit late, though. The Breach is there, though. Youngster does have a Legros, but he's going to be smoked off. Only one entrance point. 3 players going to be spraying into that smoke, but 2 of them are already lit up. The push into dance floors there. Youngster's going to be taken out. Spa's actually hiding on the desk here. This could turn out interesting for both teams. 2 players already being taken out by Jake. That's going to help for him. A third from Jake. A 3K. Interesting. Investigator's already pushed up, and that's going to be a cleanup on Spa. Last one, Defects with the AK. The AK's definitely got the headshot damage here, but we'll see if Defects can clean it up. On 1 HP, he's already gotten 1. Bomb's ticking down now. And Defects might just go for the save. No, it doesn't look like it. Garage does
Can't make it.
Onto him.
Dang.
In that situation, sometimes you just have to save those guns, and it looks like Defects just had the utility to waste there. He just was thinking, hey, I've got a spare AK in the arsenal. It's okay if I lose this one. Let's just try to get some kills and take guns off him. That's exactly
I wonder.
what he did.
They still had a couple mollies left. I feel like a molly here would have been detrimental to that attack push, right? Like anything to slow that one down, right?
Yeah, that would have been really helpful, especially if they Molotov the correct side of the bomb. Then all those attackers would have been forced towards the north side of the bomb, and there's really only one corner to hold there. So if another player from DFC had held that, or tried to rotate in and flank through security, all of those players that got pushed off the bomb would have been dead.
Yeah, for sure.
So back to C-Store now.
Oh yes,
We are back. And we're
back on the caged Odysseus once again. So we get to see what the attack plan for Status Quo will be. It looks like they're just going to go straight storefront. This could be pretty strong. Again, this is, well, there's a lot of open points. You can see that there's only a handful that you can cover these two pretty simply here, right? You only have this one and bathroom, and that's it. You only have to cover really 3 points of entry. So if you can catch the defenders, kind of, maybe somebody is watching in storage, or a couple in our in arcade, or chilling out in Teller or in freezer, right? Like most of the time, the storefront is probably going to be pretty empty.
Doesn't look like they want to bring in the wall charge. It looks like comms did disconnect between rounds, but he's already back, so that's
Yep.
not too much of a worry. The nade is there though for StatusQuo. They've got a nade in their arsenal. They could easily clear out tellers or bomb per se. I wonder what they're going to use that for, especially with a map layout that's a bit more open on Storefront.
Ooh, I do like this barb placement from DFC though. Ooh, they're expecting it. They're expecting this play.
Yeah, they are.
If the charge goes here, this barbed wire will be gone.
Exactly.
It is too close. Granted, they did hem in the fact that nobody can rotate this way, which is actually quite good. That funnels your attackers literally into one small area, so...
Looks like StatusQuo is having a little bit of fun crouching around while they're walking to their destination. The wall charge is going to be on Garage. We'll see what he can do with it. And there's actually going to be a door being busted open on the opposite side of the map. It's going to be placed on the double, and that's going to be the breach. The barb actually isn't blown up.
It's still there, yeah.
Shotgun. Sade's kind of stuck in a weird position here. The smoke's canceled him out, but Fishy's got a shotgun. He's walked straight past him. So is Hentai, but he's actually gotten the kill. Snow now with the Igmar Spa's going to have to rotate in to help him out, and that's the kill. A trade does come out with Investigator, though, on the Snow. Youngster's close range here, and it looks like Hentai Investigator's taking out that pistol. He does get, in the end, a shotgun kill, though. 2 players left on the side of DFC, 4 for StatusQuo. They've already gotten sight control, but Spa's rotated in. He's got a Molotov. He can stall this bomb perfectly for the auto shotty on Defects to road in. Looks like Spa's gonna pop that Molotov, but it's not thrown in yet. He's just taking damage bit by bit. The Molotov's gonna go off, and Jake's just gonna stick it. He's actually not taking damage in that Molotov. The edge of the Molotov.
Yeah, he was standing right on the very edge. Yeah.
A close throw, but Spa was just forced to throw it in just a fast manner, and that just didn't get far enough because of it, because he had that player pushing him. 4 rounds for StatusQuo. They've taken match point. This is potential for the map.
Set of flashes that went off, especially at the start of that game. Man, Spa was screwed. The Spa and I believe it was Shadath both got pinned down in the front. It was flash, flash, flash. They couldn't see anything. Spa was running around like crazy.
Yeah, when you just can't do too much there. Spa's trying to rotate to find a good position, but when you have the entire site basically given up, where do you push from when you have a shotgun like that? There's not many openings.
Yeah. No, he was kind of got hemmed in.
Back to this Enduring Night factory layout, the double bridge. This is the 3rd time we've seen it now, because this is the 3rd side swap. DFC is back on the attack, and we'll see if their attack is strong enough to bring it back to.
Yeah, they're kind of in a hole. They're in a little bit of a deficit now, so we'll see if they're able to. We'll see if they're able to like bring this game back into, you know, striking distance, but they can't lose another round, right? Like they're on the bubble currently.
The pressure is on them now, and it looks like there's no specific plan out set in place yet. That may just be me. I may be having some issues with drawing on the map.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go doing storage to toxic. The fabled play that you had never seen is gonna happen this go.
Exactly. we might see push through storage to take out that fan, so they don't have to use a door charge. That would technically be an eco play, and they wouldn't have to use any explosives. That would actually be extremely smart from DFC. Something unexpected, but the barb is there to counter it.
Yeah, the barb did get placed there on that door that would thread them towards the mop, which Fishy is going to be running on perch, so that is there. Lots of long range from the defenders, besides Commissar, who's only holding office.
Yeah, he is holding that same sort of barbed wire shotgun setup that we've seen working for both teams. The breach has already started, and it looks like they might be rotating a player. Defects to the window here. Hentai Investigator's aware of that, and he's already gotten free damage onto Defects, but Youngster's in. The smoke comes in from the north side on Spa. He's also got a grenade. That's going to be chucked in, but it's not going to do anything, just damaging himself. Something frustrating on the side of DFC, and Toxic's been given up. Fishy actually getting the kill on the Defects, cleaning it up. Investigator with another, and we're going to see a skirmish here. Wallbangs coming out from Toxic onto Garage, but no damage is done. Spa's pushed into the dead bodies of his teammates, but he's just going to be put into the graveyard with them. And it's just going to be 3 players dead there on storage. The last 2 players of DFC are trapped in this Toxic position. It is kind of a dead zone, but there's the wallbang onto Garage from Youngster. He could get another here if he's careful. If he plays this right, it's going to be a free kill, but it looks like Investigator's rotating in. Snow's aware of this. There's the free kill for Snow, catching the rotate off, and it's just down to 3. The aggression is hurting hurting Status Quo here, but Fishy is getting the kill onto Youngster. Now it's just down to Snow. He's pushing up to the dead bodies of his teammate. Will he join the graveyard? Yes, he will, and Status Quo has taken the second map of the series. We are going to a third.
Dang. Status Quo brings it back.
Confidence levels are definitely higher now.
Yeah, definitely. No, what a good set of rounds, man. They had that. Fishy was just on point with those Wesley snipes, man.
Yeah, he took out 2 players there in that last round, and that really helped give them the lead, especially with the Investigator basically making a graveyard of DFC in that storage area.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, and not only that, but it was just really, really well done across the board from Status Quo. Really, really bringing it back. I think they got that moment of to kind of realign themselves and went into the next game pretty darn fresh, and yeah, really brought it back.
Players are going to be resetting here. Other than that, any closing words for the second map? Because I am impressed, but proud of Status Quo, to say the least.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, they really corrected the mistakes in their first set of games. Maybe they just need to warm up, kind of into it. And yeah, I think they played really a lot better that set of rounds.
They definitely put a lot more of their confidence in. They pooled a lot more of their minds together, and I think they did pretty well on it. Other than that, if you don't have any closing remarks for the second map, I think we'll just be waiting for the players to get on for third.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the set of maps really, I think Status Quo just got a lot better reads on and being able to set up their defenses a lot better than they did in the first set of games. I think it really slowed down DFC, which allowed them to kind of pick them apart as they, they shut down a lot of avenues, and you had the barbed wire up in the office where Commissar ended up getting a few kills. You ended up, and then you cut the map in half, and they were able to get the defuse, and there's just a lot of really good smart plays, and not only for their attacks but their defenses, which we didn't really see as much in the first set of games, so that was really good.
We did see a lot of repetitive pushes though on that factory take until the very last round. We only saw those office takes, and they were just completely shut down by Molotovs and shotguns. To be honest, maybe we'll see something different in the third game. Maybe we'll see some more vertical play on possibly a Skybridge layout for factory.
Yeah, I think the hard part about that last factory map is it's just so, there is such long sight lines for the mop to be sitting that it's impossible unless you're going to try to counter snipe the person. But like, the defenders can also have people kind of like waiting right near that little, like right near those 2 doorways because of the generator, right where that's sitting, which allows them to possibly have an ambush even if you do start trying to take that trade. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of office plays there, is because that's the safest play that you could have, right?
And though those trades are definitely important for either team. If you give up man advantage, even if you do have the strategy there, if your player with utility or say the saber gets taken out, that
Hmm.
push is going to be a lot harder because you can't watch one specific angle. You might have to deviate a player from the plan just to go watch that angle that got taken out, or you could just stick to the push and take the risk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like some teams are, like I mentioned with earlier, some teams are having not necessarily confidence issues, but they aren't putting dedication into those pushes. Sometimes with those pushes, you just need to go straight in. You just need to
Yeah.
be a train. You need to rail through it and push through. And sometimes that can get you easy kills. But we haven't seen a lot of teams take that risk when they're a player down because they don't want to risk the snowball, but either way,
Sure.
they're at a disadvantage. So they need to do one other option, but then you just stall at that point.
Yeah, you saw that with Fluff earlier, in their games where they would breach as like a 5-man squad, and they were in that room and within seconds, right? The utilities getting thrown, everybody's, and you lock down an entire room, right? And I feel like the games here haven't been as much of that. It's this very kind of like a little bit slower kind of. It feels just a little bit slower, right? The motions moving a little bit slower, right?
And I think both teams are going to be queued up here, and we're going to be going into the third map, Status Quo, starting on the defender side. Any notes you've got before this match starts?
Um, well, I just think hopefully DFC is gonna now be able to take these 2 minutes and be able to rally in their games because I think much like how Status Quo kind of reset their mentals, they're gonna need to do the same thing, especially after the last set of games.
Definitely. So is your bet still on DFC, or maybe has it shifted
I
a little
mean,
bit?
I gotta. I mean, like Status Quo did show up in that last set of games though, so but
Yeah,
I
we
still
will
think
see how it
DFC could
turns out.
probably take it. We'll see.
We are going to see Disdainful Lotus. This is a very interesting loadout, or very interesting setup or tile set to have because of that office drop. We have seen a lot of players end up double Molotoving this office as players drop to kind of do extra damage and force the teammates into wallbang positions.
Mm.
But other than that, we haven't really seen that many creative plays. We have seen a wall charge on the south side, which is kind of just a default play. But the only other play we've seen is an office take. We haven't seen much shed play on this map yet, and we definitely haven't seen many arcade breaches yet. So I wonder what DFC will bring to the table here.
I mean, there's just such a good crossfire you could set up between like freezer and arcade, right? That green door or that green window entry is pretty nasty.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you
Granted, I
there.
mean, if you smoked it and are able to just blitzkrieg rush in, grab that power, it's gonna be really strong, right?
Yeah, it looks like DFC is going to be opting for power and a wall charge here. They've picked up all four night visions, and it doesn't look like anybody's bringing a saber. So we
Yeah,
might
they're
see a
gonna
wall charge to power here,
yep.
and windows are going to be blown out on freezer. The push
Auto
is already
shotty.
going to start. Ooh, yeah, there is a pump shotty in play, but there's also the auto shotty on bathroom.
Mm.
It looks like the roof play is going to be the way to go here, and it's just a standard push from DFC. We'll see if Comms predicts this. Actually, he does have the Molotov to back it up, but nobody is in arcade. Jake might try to rotate, but he's actually on a good position here. He's on some tables. The shotgun is there to open up a door from above, and there's the
Oh,
drop,
this is gonna be
already
so
pushing into
good.
arcade. Jake is on the interesting position, and we're gonna see some pushes coming out now. Spa is pushed in, Jake on the power, but nothing's gonna work there. The wall breach coming in late. Youngster's there, and Fishy's gonna be cornered. He's got players pushing in on both sides, and he's got to take one of these two fights. He's trying to stall out the bathroom push while he takes Youngsters, and it doesn't seem like he gets any damage off. There is three players lit up on the side of DFC, but Fishy's already down. That garage playing in
Garage
colors.
is like a poor pendant animal.
That's gonna be disappointing. He could
Okay,
have
I
done
just wanna
something
I
there,
just
but
wanna point out that we thought they were gonna do this play up into Office. They called an audible. They saw that there wasn't anybody like really watching Office. They dropped in, pushed arcade, saw that there wasn't anybody there, and at that point they said, "Okay, different play."
Yeah.
right? And you saw that youngster fell back and dropped down as they actually just freely pushed in and took power, right? Because they literally ran into zero, like that ran into no enemy except for Jake, who they pump shotted standing on top of the power and then took storage just cleanly.
Yeah, that was a very, very fast mid-round change of pace for DFC, and I think they've already started the momentum train. They've got it going, and Status Quo is going to have to be the ones to stop it here. They're going to have to bring that confidence back. They're going to have to put a stop to it before DFC takes this. With C-Store out of the way, we do have either Kill House or Factory coming up next, and we'll see. Maybe some vertical play coming in on both of those. It is going to be Factory,
Yep.
and it does look like storage is going to be on one side of the map, while there's going to be breaches on the others.
Also a generator with a smokestack, so that's cool.
Yep, there's also that catwalk position next to the conveyor belt by Bomb,
Oh
and
yeah.
that might lead to some interesting plays, considering these side railings are essentially solid.
Yeah.
So wallbanging those is going to be very difficult. But if you can get a player onto generator, we might see some sort of contest happen in
Here we
that
are.
position.
Juno Giant. Yeah, I mean this to me feels like a really good. It does feel like a map that you could take the green door entry pretty easily here, but ultimately it depends on what the attackers really want to do. This seems like it feels like the obvious play. Like go for dock, go for power, but I mean again, it's really that entry is pretty nasty.
Well,
Right?
considering they've already done power, they might go for it again, even though road flares are a bit more effective on factory, and it does seem like that's the play. I'm seeing
Seeing a little bit of
three night
sketch
visions. I
mode.
see 3 night visions out on DFC. They might actually be going for this power play.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a green door in for power, right? Is what it seems.
Does seem like it, but there might also be a little stop by to North Office, just checking in. Gonna get your papers, please. Jake is gonna be a little bit concerned about that, possibly.
Yeah, hopefully.
He is holding an interesting wallbang, actually. He's ready for the push. He's let them know that he's there. But he's on a... We're going to see the breach, actually. Spa is going to be the only one rotating to storage. And the push is there. Shots are coming in from Jake. Damage is going to go off, but Spa's there to try to counter him. He might get pinched here, but it doesn't look like TFC is pretty dedicated to it. He is going to get taken out in the end, though. Youngster making sure that corner is clear. Nobody else is there. And it looks like now 3 players on storage. Fishy with the mop actually taken down already. That's a power weapon out of play, and Comps is going to have to hold his dock position. He's caught off guard, and it's already 4 kills for the side of DFC. Make it 5. And the only player on DFC dead that round, Sva.
Yep.
He helped breach that. He helped get in there. And the defuse is there for DFC.
Yeah, Yunk had some good shots there. They had Jake pincered. That he had nowhere to go. He ran out onto Toxic, right? He's stuck in that one area. You know, they were able to flank him behind him, and because he had to give up his location even more because he was worried about getting flanked pretty hard, that they were able to pick him off once once Spa ended up having to like pull back, right? Because he was taking a little bit of crossfire from way down, but they were his team was able to reposition and take him out, and that kind of started the domino effect there.
Yeah, domino effect was definitely in play. They I don't want to say that was a steamroll, because there was some counterplay in the fashion there. Fishy did get off a mop shot, but sadly it wasn't a headshot. That wasn't enough to help the Igmar player on docks. And they kind of just they wrapped around the edge of the map until they had site control, really. Now on to Kill House now. It doesn't seem like there's much vertical play here. There is a vault, though. A vault that is immune to wall charge. So, even though wall charge is out of play, that's gonna give Status Quo a bit more comfortability. They're gonna force players onto the button, it seems like. And there might be a funnel here. It seems like there might be 5 players of Status Quo on the button.
Well, I do think it's important for you to maintain some sort of hold over the vault room with the door, kitchen. I mean, the reason being is, again, it's not good to like bundle yourselves all up into like one location because one or two flashes will render you all useless. So it is good. It is probably a better idea to spread out a little bit more. Um, I do think that status quo is being a little bit risk averse here. I don't think anybody's gonna be watching lockers for a pick or trying to get from, the green door, trying to get a pick onto them, or even in kitchen, right? It looks like they're mostly gonna be watching training and office, really.
We've given up a lot of the map already to DFC, and they may be just trying to hold it out here. They may be just trying to time the clock, but when you give up that much map control right off the start of the round, and you don't spread out your players just the littlest bit, it can really hurt your team composition, especially if you don't have somebody lurking. But it does seem like Garage is lurking, and he might be collecting information here. It does definitely sound like it. He's probably spotted that player, to be honest, and nobody's checking the windows. Investigators already rotate off, but so is
Yeah,
Gurge.
garage really
Spotted that, and
is
Gurge is just out of there. There's going to be
Yeah.
4 players sitting on that button. And like you said, some flashes or a frag grenade could render them useless, but Fishy is always there to back up one side of it, and that's going to be the office side. Defects is getting ready for the nade here. That's going to be the breach, the door charge to get rid of it. Fishy is actually going to get taken out. The push is happening simultaneously. Defects has 2. He might get a third here. Comms actually getting a trade with Defects, and Shoddy taking him out in return. Jake's the last one left. He's cut off that rotate with the Molotov. Youngster's kind of stuck in it, but the round's essentially over at this point. Shoddy and
Big
Spa are
oof.
going to go hit the button, and something frustrating on the side of Status Quo. 3 rounds already for DFC.
I did not get to see the south. I'm gonna have to watch this in the VOD to see what happened because I was so enthralled in what was happening in the north that when Fishy goes down and Jake went down, it was like I don't even know what happened there.
Yeah, Snow just decided to push straight in through that barbed wire with a teammate to back him up. And because there were 2 people there, I feel like Fishy just couldn't pick between guards, and that kind of that messed him up. But 3 rounds for the first side swap. DFC goes to defense. They have the advantage here.
Yeah, no, that was again. I think DFC kind of realized like, hey, our execution got a little bit sloppy in the last set of games. We need to clean it up a little bit more, and I think that just showed on their attacking rounds.
See how it goes for a comeback. Maybe we did see it on the second map, but I'm starting to have a little bit of doubt. Maybe Fishy, their IGL, can give me a little bit of hope now. We'll see
Yeah,
though.
I mean, Fishy is one of their better players. I mean, I've gotten to play with him a few times. Him and Commissar are kind of those the main pillars, I think, on the team.
Yeah, they're the main entries. They've got the plan and they have the frags. It's just the coordination. While it is there, it's just not on the level of DFC. It seems like. Maybe if they can get something a little bit off meta, maybe like this arcade breach or the shed breach, they'll have a better chance in the round, even if those are a bit harder to push into.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a. Oh, well, that's the thing though, is with the shed push actually, let me check out my map set. Yeah, yeah. The only spot you can really make it in here is through this red door. But I still think shed is a really strong play to get into this teller to grab the button, right? Open up the storefront, get everybody in. It doesn't take too much to be able to take that freezer, right? 2 flashes and maybe a smoke, and then you rush in and try to take that teller, right?
Yeah, as long as there's not an auto shotty there, if you have guaranteed that there's not an auto shotty there, you could probably throw one body in and get a trade easily,
Yeah.
making it just down to a 4v4. And when you're on attack and you have more health, a 4v4 is more beneficial for you than the defenders. So we'll see some decent barbed wire placements. One on the storefront. Might get destroyed by a wall charge if that happens.
Yep.
And we're also going to see one on that choke point by bathroom. We usually see teams put it on the bathroom there. And looks like a Molotov actually was thrown out.
Yeah.
Interesting. We are going to see the shed breach happen, though, and we're going to hear the clacks go off, the wall charges going off, the barb not being destroyed, actually. It is more than a tile away, so it looks like it's not gone. And the pick is there for Garage. He's already pushed in, but he's 1 HP. He might have to call out that Youngster's there, but Spa has also been taken out by Comms, and Fishy's stuck on this barbed wire. Defects is just holding it with the shotgun. We've seen him do it time and time again, especially on Factory with that shotgun and barb. He's going to peek around here. He might get one. The damage is in, but nothing's going to happen. The Molotov's going to split the team in half, and Youngster, he's already gone. He's like the last one left. He's pinned in, but he's got Fishy. He's peeked out at the right time. He's actually opened the shutters to distract them. And Jake is coming in on the back, and Youngster's already down. A clean round, no super weapons coming out from the side of DFC. And we'll see the first round in this third map set. From
that molly here off of Snow was pretty bad. He must have hit the ceiling or something because it literally fell right on top of him.
What I really want to know is I want to go watch over that bot and see what happened on storage. I feel like they may have actually thrown it out of arcade and it hit this balcony here, or they just hit it to the ceiling edge right here.
That
must have been a smart play.
Yeah, they threw it from the wind. That's why I was wondering why the laser went off from the drone. They chucked the Molotov onto the roof.
Smart. That was something I don't think any team has done yet. That's going to be setting the meta. Status quo, setting the meta for other teams now.
Right.
Surprising to say the least. I'm glad to see it though. It is always welcome for teams' new abilities to come out and, you know, shine when they're putting out desperate measures. Back to Factory now. We are going to be on Juno Giant, and it, like you said, it does have that large silo in the middle.
Yeah.
Generator might be an interesting take here, but we'll see what Status Quo can do.
Yeah, I like that this generator is kind of like this large, just monolithic object that's sitting in the middle of the room. I'm surprised that nobody's really been playing this backside of the generator. It gives you access to bomb. It gives you access to these long angles, right? It feels like a good hold to me. You got those giant metal panels that offer you a good amount of cover. Maybe not as much from this walkway across the top, but at least it gives you some decent spots where you can sit, especially this corner. I feel is exceedingly.
Is a lot of players, they'll push in through storage, and some teams will intentionally set a barbed wire right here to slow down the jump over to bomb. So we might see something like that because there is a storage take in play, it seems.
Yep, looks like they're going with the free play.
Actually only setting one in storage. It looks like they're doing exactly what DFC did. They're going to put 4 in North Office and 1 to storage to cut off that rotate.
Oh, my. Somebody just jumped on top of all of the toxic barrels and ate half of their health. Oh my. Defects just decided he was gonna deal some damage to himself.
I have seen players get up on the ledge of that though without taking any damage. He might have been trying to do that, but when he jumped up a little bit further, he must have fallen into one.
Yep.
A little bit unlucky. You don't want to become Spider-Man in this situation. You need your guns. It's not like you can shoot webs. Webs aren't going to stop those bullets, and the door charge is already down onto North Office. We might see the Molotov. Yes, there it is. And Cobbs is going to take a lot of damage, but he's already in. He sees defects. He's going to pull out the pistol, but it's not going to be enough. Fishy is going to go in for the trade here with the Saber. It's going to happen. 2 players already down for the side of DFC, and it's going to be frantic. It's going to be a frenzy holding on to this site with those long angles. Snow is going to be holding on to what Fishy is here. Youngster's got 1, but Fishy's there with the trade onto Snow. Youngster is going to be rotating off to this position with the mop. He might get a kill into Fishy. Fishy's not aware, and he's got a second. It's already down to a 2v2, and Garage is actually taken out by Spa. Investigator's going in. He's got 1, and the smoke is there to cover him from Spa. Spa's going to be peeking out here. Investigator actually getting the kill, a second round for Status Quo in a row. The pressure is on now for DFC.
That was so close.
They had those early picks, but then DFC tried to turn it around, but luckily Investigator was there to clutch it up. He knew where Spa was going, and I feel like
putting.
that fire rate was just superior.
Yeah, the AP had him over though. I mean, youngster though, those 2 snipes, dang, that was so good.
I could have won them the round, and maybe
Yeah,
if the smoke wasn't there, Spa would have actually gotten damage onto Investigator to finish him off there on the
yeah,
bomb.
yeah.
That
It's
smoke could
hard
have
to
saved
say.
him, I
I mean,
feel.
Young was able to hide in it though, but then he ended up getting collapsed on anyway. Yeah, it's hard to tell what could have been. Ooh, the attackers got the sniper. Ooh,
That's
mop.
going to be rough. It looks like it might end up being a 3-3 for Status
Yeah.
Quo. They've picked it up in this third map. After a 3-0 lead for DFC, they've already picked up 2 rounds. So I wonder what we'll see from them. With a mop play possibly coming out, it is the last round of the before team swap. So we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, this will be on that kill house vault map. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, there aren't as many long angles unless you're trying to peek them, right? On these windows, you know what I mean? So,
And the
I could,
fact that they don't have even just a wall charge here, not to use on Volt, but even if they just used a wall charge here to maybe open up an office rotate or easily open up training, that would have really helped them because it feels like that button is going to be hard to go to. They might just have to sweep site and then go for the button as a
well, I
second
think they've
objective.
already used the wall charge because they used it on the C store
They
and
have.
front. So, I mean, as much as I want to see some wall charge plays, I think they're going to run into a little bit more difficulty here just because I think they only have a door charge left, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and last round of the half, they didn't opt for a night vision play, so it looks like Fishy's having a little bit of fun with his own night vision.
Yeah, it's
But
got to look cool.
he actually does have the mop on him. It looks
Yes.
like he might be trying to get a pick here onto the button, and I would love to see that come out as the rest of the team seems to have shotguns and APs.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of close quarters fighting, so that's probably the best armaments you could have. I'm seeing auto shotgun here for the
Yeah, auto
defender.
shotgun for
Shotgun.
the Allegros and a Tub 12, as well as the NAC. So we'll see where they decide to position those. They are going to actually set a player in Vault, and maybe player just decide to rotate off. It looks like Spa's actually marking something on the map, and it's going to be his barbed wire. But I feel like as soon as he marks that, he's going to be in Vault. Does look like that's going to be the case, and the smokes are already in though for Status Quo. They want to cut off the rotate there.
I think they might be doing, you have the button be open already, fake out, where they'll close them in.
Yeah, but the button already has a like red and green indicator on it.
I think
So,
they're hoping that they don't notice.
We'll see. Garage flashes are there, triple flash. Cobbs is gonna click the button. He's actually been outplayed already.
Yep.
That's frustrating.
Spa's got this nice hide.
Spa's gonna be hiding there though. Cobbs might try to come back to frag him, and that's not gonna be the case. He did open the door, but Spa's kind of trapped there now. If he tries to rotate out, the UAV is gonna ping him. And Snow's there to back him up. It looks like it might just be a push straight from Kitchen here. Shot comes out from Fishy. A little bit of damage onto Snow from a wallbang, it seems. And just a hold there now. Spa's rotated off. Will they notice that? I'm not sure, but Jake has been taken out by defects. The round's starting to fall apart for Status Quo. And Garage is going to go in. He's not realizing the shot. He's rotated out. And Fishy's going to try to counter it with a pistol, but he can't do much. Spot is going to actually be taken out by Youngster with a wallbang. Kind of funny, but Investigator's gotten 1. He's on 1 HP, and it's just a 1-on-3.
And the door's still closed. He doesn't even know the door's closed right now.
Something to keep in mind. He does have the auto shot. He's going for the wall bangs, but it's not in the right spot. He might be able to get one to take off a gun, but it doesn't really matter in the side switch. And it's going to be match point for DFC. 4-2. Finally stopping the rain that Status Quo has put in place.
Yes, Status Quo is starting to turn it around. So this was a need to win for them, and DFC was able to pick up. They'll be on game point on attack with fresh gear. That's a little bit scary coming into this next set.
considering Status Quo is going to have those super weapons. We'll see what they can do. They might opt to bring one on the first round this time instead, especially if it is the C store, which I'm pretty sure it is because we had the C store factory kill house. We may see the auto shotty come out, and we might also see that Molotov again. I think I do see where they threw it out from actually. They opted for just busting down that door and throwing it straight over.
Oh, is that where they actually just kicked in the red? See,
Yeah,
I thought
I'm pretty sure they
from the green, but
no,
yeah, that
because
might have been what
if
it
they
was.
chucked it from the skylight, it wouldn't have made it that far.
Yeah,
That's the issue.
you might be
But
right.
they probably late round just tried to keep anybody from going up there. It seems, but that wasn't even the plan in the first place. So there might be a wall charge. DFC was marking an office wall charge into storefront, something we haven't seen, but it seems they've opted out of it due to that freezer rotate. Same barbs as before for Status Quo.
Yeah, I think Status Quo saw what DFC had done. They're like, we need to do the same thing. Closing down this whole section of the storefront is really strong.
Yeah, I'd honestly love to see Status Quo win this, but if DFC wins this, they'll be 3-0, and the only other team that is going to be 3-0 is Fluff. So we'll see that match if DFC pulls it out here.
I think DFC right now is 2-1. It would be 3-1 at that point. Fluff will be Fluff is the only if Status Quo wins, they'll be tied with Fluff for undefeated.
Excuse me, yeah, that was what I meant. I was discussing with Pion earlier the team scores, and I must have gotten those confused. Seems like a normal wall charge plan is going to be coming out. They're not going to be opting for the office wall charge. They're just going to go for the normal play, and it looks like Status Quo didn't place down that second barbed wire. They decided to put it in freezer instead, and that might be the right play to go for in this situation because there is going to be a player pushing ahead. They don't want that freezer rotate to come out. There is the auto shotty that I mentioned though, and Investigator's got one. He's going in for the second, but Snow's there with the trade. And Garage is pushing in with that close range Igmar. Defects with the trade though. I did notice Spa get taken out by Youngster. Shotty's pushed through this barbed wire and Fishy's already down. It's just down to a 2v2, but essentially it's a 1v1 when Defects is this low. Already taken out from Shotty. Jake is dead, and it's now down to Comms and Defects. Defects is 1 HP. One Gruber shot could take him out here, but Defects has to get a body, and it's not going to happen. Comms has turned the round around, and that auto shotty from Investigator in the first round really helped them out. It is going to be picked up as well as a clacker.
Yeah, that's
DFC going in with a clacker.
Great. And on top of that, Spa detonated Youngster off the start. That he got those charges up faster, I think, than Spa was realizing as he was clacking.
Yeah. With Factory now, there's only 2 main breach points, and we haven't really seen a team go for docks. So if DFC doesn't realize the clacker is in play here, then they might just end up blowing themselves up on the north office.
Yeah, I think
Status Quo around.
Yeah, you'd have to have the assumption if you brought the clacker in with you that they've got it, right? So that's
hope so.
Brutal turn of events, right? Like I always preach, if you're gonna go in, find a spot near where you went in and place the clacker down, right?
Yeah.
Just do shade drop and then enter in the building if you're the clackman.
Yeah,
right?
There's only 2 options for DFC
It's
here.
your fault if you forget to go and pick it up. It's not your fault that you gave it over to the enemy team, right?
Yeah, DFC only has 2 options here. They either have to commit to a clacker push, or because they know the clacker's in play, they're going to have to commit to storage. And it looks like they've realized that. They have marked up docks for a possible push, but it seems storage is the way to go here. And if Status Quo realizes that DFC is trying to play off them having the clacker, then they could win this round pretty easily. They can funnel them through storage and keep them from even getting power.
Yeah, I think there's already some expectation from Status Quo that they're not going to do their explosive play this round. But yeah, I think DFC is going all in. I can see him.
Actually, the wall charge is on docks. The SPA has opted to bring the wall charge, and they've also brought a Saber and night vision. So It seems Dox is the play here. If Status Quo doesn't predict Dox correctly, it might be the round. It might be the series for DFC. We will see the players spawn in, and it looks like there's less of a presence in North Office. I do want to see what player does have the clacker, though, and it's going to be Comms with the auto shoddy. A door charge.
Interesting. Oh, because he's holding the office. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
He needs to rotate to either position, and it looks like both sides are going to be quiet. They do realize it might be a storage play, and the charge is placed down. Spa has placed that across, and Spa's ready to breach already. Comms can't do anything about it. The clacker play is already gone, and they know the breach is coming in from storage, but do they expect the flank? Garage is in a bad position. He's already been pushed open, but Fishy has the entry kill. 2 kills coming out for DFC, though, from Youngster onto Investigator and Spa onto Garage. Let's see if Fishy can do anything. Not going to happen. A 4-on-2 already. This might be the final round, but Jake is in a good position, just like you mentioned here. That position could be strong, even if he is holding a knack. Shade is going to be pushing up, though. He might opt to flash this. And the push is coming in now on the docks. They are going to try to pinch these players, but Comms does have the auto shotty. There's going to peek there from Jake, but Defects takes him out, only taking half of his health off. And Comms, he's left in a 1-on-4. He knows the players are there. He's going to opt in for the flank possibly, and Defects realizes it. He's got to clutch this up. It's a 1-on-4. He doesn't have any grenades. He's got to peek out. He's jumped down, and he's alone on the site. Comms has got to take out the player, and it's going to be DFC to win the best of 3. Oh my, Status Quo almost bringing it back.
Yeah, Status Quo woke up. Let's be honest. They woke up. They put it into the third round, this third set of games. I do feel like the auto shotgun, yeah, it's great for holding office, but you know, you're really hemmed in. It is not a long-range weapon at all. In a factory like this, it feels like that might have been a little bit of a misplay. But unless you were going to try to stuff the explosive, like the literal point of entry, right? But man, what a set of games. Those were quite good.
It was impressive to say the least from both teams. We saw a possible comeback, but it looks like DFC ended up shutting it down in the end. I'm proud of DFC for closing it out, but it's heartbreaking to see Status Quo get to the third map and just be shut down.
Yeah. DFC ended up taking a commanding lead. They came out of the gates racing. Status Quo couldn't really stop them. They tried to, claw a few rounds back in, but then they couldn't in the one round that they really needed to put it in that 3-3. Have it be tied, right? They kind of slipped through their fingers right there towards the end, and yeah, it's tough for Status Quo. They've been doing super good. It's great to see some of these new teams, fresh teams come in and really give some of the high end teams a run for their money, right? So it's refreshing to see that it's not just the same old teams coming in, and just laying waste to all the new teams. The new teams are actually really trying to step up and put these high level teams to the task.
It seems like that is the case, and we are going to be figuring out who to interview here in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
On the side of DFC, we'll figure it out. But
how did you feel about the rounds?
Honestly, I would have loved to see Status Quo take it back, but honestly, DFC, it was impressive on their half. I was really supportive of them. Excuse me. Even though I really wanted to see Status Quo pull it back on their half. We might be getting an interview here, either Shani or Defects from the side of DFC. And any footnotes before the interview from that last match?
No, not at all. Well, congratulations, gentlemen, on the round victories for DFC.
Thank you.
Definitely impressed, to say the least. So if you don't know who they are, this is Shade and Defects of DFC. So we saw a really interesting closeout here. We did see the second map go to a Status Quo. Were you two concerned about that at all?
A tiny bit. That second match, it was rough, right? But
excuse and say that the maps were defender sided and they got defender a lot.
No. That is definitely not what happened. We just focused up. We, you know, we that's all we did. Focused up. Made sure we were in the game.
Yeah, I don't have many questions besides saying I'm genuinely impressed. I not to be disrespectful, I really would have liked to see Status Quo win that, but you guys definitely proved your potential for a second league win this season. Uh, Zach, do you have any questions?
Oh, sure. I've got a couple that I put down. So, first I wanted to ask Defects, like
Yeah.
when you were playing, what was a play that really like stood out to you while you guys were playing, or a moment that was really something that while you were going through the games?
I'm pretty sure it was the second match. I got like a 2K and her a third guy. I forgot what happened, but I think that was my best round. I held W, teammates behind me. I got the backup. Like we went in.
No, for sure, for sure. How about you, Shadath? You ended up getting a few multi-kill games in there in a few of those rounds. Was there a particular play that kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I want to say the one where I came out from like top of stage and flanked the
Fragged out.
guys south there. Well, I just jumped through the doorway and caught the guy off guard because that was a really dumb thing to do, and I did it.
No, for sure, for sure. That was pretty nuts set of rounds anyway. But I mean, like you guys ended up having some really good like. I think your first set of games was like a five man no loss. Just sweep in and just like eliminate the enemy team. It was kind of, I think, it caught Status Quo off guard a little bit for that first game, or the very first round, when you guys just like really stuck it to him pretty hard. But you also had a 4-1 factory where you ended up recovering the mop after that split, and then you ended up rotating into like the 4 kills 1 loss kill house round. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any like thoughts on that? Like, have you guys been like doing a little bit more practicing, like to gear up for some of these games? Is there anything that you're really focusing on for your play?
Mostly we need help in communication for some people.
Yeah, tiny bit. Comms, clear comms. Sometimes you gotta do
Friendly
it.
fire is quite exciting every time.
Yes, indeed.
It could be you just trying to let the other team, get into the game a little bit more, right? You got to give them a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, cool,
other than
guys.
that, Zach, do you have any closing remarks for Sade or Defects?
Well, I think you guys played really, really well. I think in your first set of games, you looked great. I think in the second games, I think Status Quo kind of figured some things out. I think you had kind of punched them off balance in the first round, but they kind of really brought it back in the second one. I think you guys made the right adjustments in the third. It looked a lot better than it did in the second set of rounds. So it's exciting to see that even that you guys were able to reset your mentals really quickly, walk right back in and really fight for that third set of games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Defects was really positive after the second round or match.
Yeah. It's all about teamwork. You can't get tilted, or it just goes downhill from there, man.
We've seen some frustration come out from teams when they drop maps. But other than that, I wanted to thank you both for coming to this. I wasn't expecting a double interview, but you guys played great, and you definitely deserve the win. And I don't have any other closing remarks. So Zach, if you have anything to say to them, we'll wrap this up.
A huge shout out to DFC and Shadath DFC and Status Quo for giving us a great set of games. Good job, Shadath, on having some really good rounds, and thank you for all of our teams that have been playing for the DPL. It's been awesome to watch, and I hope you guys are really enjoying the play. So,
I think other than that, any closing remarks for your fans or your teammates?
Good job all around. Honestly, We did a great job.
Yeah, that was a great match, and they did a really good comeback on match 2. And I hope we get to play them again.
All right. Well, that's great to hear. And I just want to thank you all coming out here today. We had a very long stream today. We started out with Red Team versus Fluff, and then we moved on to DFC versus Status Quo. A very close match indeed. But other than that, unless Zach has any closing remarks, I think we'll roll the credits and go to our end stream raid.
See you in the next one.
Thank you everybody for stopping by, and this was Due Process League.